And welcome to this edition of the Eastview Sportsnet Coaches Show. Kenneth the K-Rock Klein here, and yes, I've been a good boy. Don't worry, Santa's got me covered. I'm also joined by the head hockey coach, Alain, who I'm sure is probably getting that feeling of having himself a winter wonderland, knowing that his team, of course, plays on ice hockey, maybe a little pond hockey as well. But first question, obviously, Coach, have you been good this year so far?
Yes, I think so.
Well, we'll just leave it at that. But anyway, Coach, it's been a long time since we last chatted. I think the last time we talked, you were getting ready to head out to California to take on some really good competition, and you were 10-0 at that point. Really took care of some business there. Let's start off with the California trip. Took on 3 quality teams. One of the games went to overtime. You were able to come away with that. And then just kind of talk about the experience for the guys playing against some good quality competition out there.
Well, it was really different. Before we went on that trip, we hadn't played teams that kind of give us a run for our money. And we went to California and played California Northridge. Really, really good team. They're actually still undefeated to this point. We beat them in overtime, but in the column of losses, they haven't lost this year. Then we played Fullerton, which very good team as well. We won 5-2. The guys really showed a lot of pride going to California. Team from Texas. We got a little talked down by some of the California teams that you from Texas. But we played well. The word over there was to stay disciplined, and we did, and we came out victorious.
Absolutely, Coach. Obviously, of course, thinking about it, you really needed some good tests, and you were able to get that as well. So that put you at 13-0, and then you were able to continue your winning streak with 4 more wins. Unfortunately, the streak ended at 17 when you took on a very good Texas A&M squad, lost the first game. But then the second game, it counts as a tie, to say the least, but you were kind of on the losing end after a shootout as well. But just from you're playing against a really top-notch quality team. I'm not saying that all the teams that you face are not that talented enough, but Texas A&M seems to be at the forefront of the conference.
Yeah, Texas A&M is a very hard team to play. They play hard every shift. I wouldn't say they have big superstars on their team like UTEP has. Mr. Simpson, that's very good goal scorer. A&M is a team. They play hard, like I said, every shift. It's hard to play them. We were missing a few players as well, big names like Skylar Spiller was not playing for us that weekend. Devin Baird wasn't playing that weekend. Alex Shea wasn't playing that weekend. We had 3 or 4 guys with the flu. Not trying to make excuses, but we still played very, very good hockey. It was still close games, but they had the upper end on us. Their work ethic was a little better than ours.
Yeah, so obviously, you're going up against some good competition there as well, and well, it's just going to be a pretty long while for y'all. I mean, obviously, your next game is not until January the 15th, and that's where you have the process of 4 straight games, but more on that in a moment. So obviously, with you had your finals exams, and of course, obviously, there's a lot of downtime in between. What do you like? What's the plan to kind of keep the team's mindset in trying to stay focused on, just keeping themselves fresh, so that way when the season resumes in January, they get ready to play?
Well, we have quite a few Canadian players, which they all gone home right now for the holidays. We're coming back January 7th for week-long practices. So we'll have 5 practices before we play UTEP. In those practices, we'll have a lot of conditioning to get back where we should be at, and we will be ready to play those 4 games.
Yeah, no, and I'm looking at the schedule and all that, and I'm just like, 4 games in a row, like on 4 straight days, and not only that, but you have like 2 home games against UTEP, and then you follow that up with 2 road games against North Texas. It's just kind of is it kind of weird how the schedule seems to play out?
Yeah, it is, but at the same time, even the NHL will play 3 games out of 5 days. It's not uncommon to do that. We play 4 games in 4 nights, and we'll have a week to rest, and then we'll go play Arkansas. But yeah, I think it will be okay playing 4 games in 4 nights. Those guys are very well conditioned.
Absolutely, Coach. So, one final question for you, Coach, and all. Like growing up, obviously, around this time, you probably had some memorable gifts and all that, I'm sure, because of a hockey lover that you are. Has there been a memorable, like a hockey gift that you ever received as a kid?
Well, yeah, it was my first pair of leather hockey gloves. I was always growing up, I had those weird feeling material hockey gloves, and when leather gloves became popular, I got a pair. That was really, really nice.
Well, I'm sure hopefully that Santa brings you some good gloves or whatever it is. And thanks once again for joining us, Coach Savage. We look forward to talking with you more this season, and we'll have more coaches on the ETVU Sportsnet Coaches Show. We'll see if some of the other coaches have been naughty or nice, so you won't want to miss out on that next time on the ETVU Sportsnet Coaches Show.